if I'm your parent and I'll tell you, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this right, da, 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 do this, do this, do this, you'll just, sorry, let me be. But when you yourself come to realize your own mistakes and shortcomings, the first thing you want to do is change. My father passed very suddenly when I turned 20. My question was, where did he go? Why did he have to die? What is the journey of the soul?
Where do the roots of suffering really lie?
They lie in our own past actions. So if there is suffering, it has to be because I myself have warranted it through my past actions.
It's the good karma I'm doing. But still, why is there suffering for me when I see a person who is wrong, who is bad, and still they are reaping the benefits?
Watch out, there are cameras, hidden cameras everywhere. The cosmos knows everything that you do, that you even say and think and feel.
Is suffering the only way out?
So whatever you cannot change, you must accept.
How to really integrate spirituality in our busy lives? How can a beginner really, kind of take the first step?
If I don't make time for my spirituality and my introspection, then the world will just encroach on me.
How would you define detachment? Is it like emotionally severing all the ties?
Detachment is just detaching from the false, detaching from what doesn't align with my inner peace. If we look at meditation from its real purpose, which is to realize the self, to go within and just practice being that self. Turn your mind's attention away and then place it on the self. And the self has no thoughts, so it's just stillness. It's so hard to do.
What does it really mean to have a spiritual life in today's fast-paced world? Today we have with us spiritual educator and author Manisha Melwani to throw light on just that. Manisha, welcome to Midday.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Since, our conversation is going to be around navigating the path of spirituality in our day-to-day lives, I want to begin with you about your personal journey. So, how would you describe who you are really today?
To put it simply, I see myself as a lifelong learner, and the focus of my learning for the last 25 plus years has been the spiritual science of Vedanta. Spirituality has always been of interest to me, and this has been my main focus. And because I like to learn, the natural outcome of that is wanting to express that learning by what you would call teaching others, but I'm actually expressing my learning. It helps me organize my thoughts and identify gaps in my understanding. So I run classes, workshops, courses for people looking for spiritual solutions to their everyday problems in life, or to gain better clarity and purpose. That's a very important thing.
Manisha, talking about the spiritual solutions in life, did it start with a very, very personal journey of your own when you thought, okay, my life has this X and Z, and maybe spirituality is something that can help me navigate? Or how did you really begin your journey into this?
I would say I've always been interested in things that are extraordinary, metaphysical. I had lots of interest in metaphysical things when I was a teenager. Such as, palm reading, body language, face reading, many things, crystals, pendulums, stones, you name it.
And you still practice?
It was something that I was really keen on in my teenage years. I started when I was 12, but my father passed very suddenly when I turned 20. He had a heart attack, and it was so sudden. We did not expect anything like that, and that's when it gave a big shock to me. My question was, where did he go? Why did he have to die? What is the journey of the soul? What are we here to do if he just left so quickly? And why are we suffering? Obviously, the whole family was involved in grieving. So I would say that my spiritual seeking, asking for answers to the questions I had, started when I was 20. And I was looking for a teacher, a guru, who could answer all the questions. As I said, I love to learn and I always have many questions. And I was looking for a teacher. I would say that everywhere we went, like I would take my mother, because she was looking for solace. And we would go to temples, we would go to talks, we would go to satsangs. And, you know, wherever we went, whoever the organization was associated with, I would look and say, are you my guru? Are you my guru?
How long did it take for you to actually zero down upon one, or maybe still you are searching?
No, thankfully, I've been blessed. It took 20 years.
Wow.
It took 20 years of sincere seeking, and also because I got married. I was this happened. My father's passing happened in Singapore. I was born in Bombay, but I was a toddler when we moved to Singapore, and I was growing up there. And when I got married, we moved to Toronto, Canada. And then we've had 5 very, very action-packed years. We had 3 children, 3 boys in 5 years of marriage.
Wow.
So a lot of my seeking had to take a little bit of a back seat for a while, and the children and extended family responsibilities, but it was always there. And so anyway, things kind of fell together, and I guess the universe conspired to allow me to take a 2-week retreat in California. My guru is actually Swami Chinmayananda.
Okay.
He's a Vedantic master. Have you heard of him?
Yes, I have.
Yes. So Swami Chinmayananda, Gurudev we call him, he has a whole series of talks that he recorded in a small town north of San Francisco, about 5 hours north by car, and it's a town called Pierce in California. And that's where I went for this camp. And because he had done camps there, he had done talks there, I went into his cottage, his kutia, and I would go into the bedroom. In those days, I'm talking, you know, a couple of decades ago. In those days, the room was kept the way it was when he had left his body. And I would sit in the bedroom, and others used to come, but afternoons nobody came, because everybody was resting. But I wanted to go, and I wanted to talk, and I wanted to make sure, because there was something that brought me there, and I wanted to go and know it for myself, if this is the right path and if he is my real guru. So I needed some space away from family, and that's when it happened. And I had a deep intuitive knowing that he was my guru.
So throughout the years, maybe through your guru itself, were you able to find answers to your questions, like, you know, from where your journey actually began, the questions about suffering? If I may ask you now, Manisha, where do the roots of suffering really lie?
They lie in our own past actions. The universe that we live in is not random. It's an infinitely intelligent, infinite system, cosmic. It's, as Gurudev would say, this is a cosmos, not a chaos. Everything happens for a particular reason. We come into this world, this earth is providing us a field to perform actions and to reap the results of our past actions. This is what we're here to do. This world provides that field. And so if we have done some actions, every action, first of all, reaps a result. When it's very simple. You do good, you get good results. You do bad, you get not so happy results. So if there is suffering, it has to be because I myself have warranted it through my past actions. It makes no sense. You do the bad and I suffer. There's no such thing. And this is something, you know, people understand the law of cause and effect when it comes to the larger scheme of life and things. Yeah, you know, If you see clouds, you know that, there is moisture in the air, eventually there might be rain. It's all logical. If you see water on the ground in the morning, you say, oh, it must have rained. Everything is logical, everything makes sense. All that we understand. Science outside, we understand. But when it comes to my suffering, no, 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 no. Something must have gone wrong. I don't deserve this suffering. I don't deserve this person in my life. We get so attached to ourselves and we have such strong feelings. Obviously, nobody wants to
Exactly,
suffer.
yeah.
So we question. So it's like me, a small one creature in the infinitely vast cosmos, looking and saying, hey, you made a mistake. I should not be having this problem.
Actually, it's a very common question. People generally say that, whatever, like, I do so much of hard work, I'm being honest, I toil so much, it's the good karma I'm doing. But still, why is there suffering for me when I see a person who is wrong, who is bad, maybe who is lazy, and still they are reaping the benefits? I mean, they are just living a very, in their la la land, they are living a very hunky dory life, while me, in spite of being the good things, the right things, why am I suffering? What do you have to tell them?
Well, it's the law of cause and effect. The effect always comes after the cause has been generated. So if I am performing good actions now, I will reap the results. It could be in the next minute. If I choose to have peaceful thoughts now, I will experience peace. In fact, now, in a couple of seconds from now.
Nothing is unfair.
Nothing is unfair. Everything follows cosmic laws that are incontrovertible. They are ironclad. So if the person that you mentioned, say for example, he was doing some lying, cheating, whatever, negative way of living, he may be receiving the results of his actions as good now. But we don't know how his future will be. Because he performs the negative action, he steals, he does get the money. So that is definitely an immediate result.
Right.
But what does it do to his peace of mind? What does it do to his tendencies in the mind? Where will that negative? So if I have taken money from you, I've deprived you, I've caused you suffering.
So it's a ripple effect.
Yes, so definitely I will get your money right away. I'll be happy. Yes, I got it. But your suffering has to have some consequence for me. Immediately I will receive that good result, that I have the money that belonged to you. But what happens in the future is something we cannot say. My guru says that watch out, there are cameras, hidden cameras everywhere.
CCTVs are
Everywhere. The cosmos knows everything that you do, that you even say and think and feel. Everything.
Thinking is a karma, right?
Thinking is an action. Definitely, yeah, you're right. It is a karma.
Some of us have screwed up in the past. Okay, we accept it, acknowledge it. Is there any way out of this suffering? I mean, is suffering the only way out?
What happens is that whatever I am, there are certain things that I just cannot change. Okay, there are people with some disabilities or they have to have caregiving for certain people in their lives. You cannot change that. So whatever you cannot change, you must accept that it has been brought into your life for the higher purpose of living it through and overcoming that negative action, the results of that past negative action. There must be some give and take with that person or something.
So acceptance is the first step.
Acceptance with faith that nothing happens randomly. And we have to have faith that the Creator is intelligent and that the Creator is benevolent and kind and compassionate, that nothing will be. So it's like a mother, she might deprive a child of ice cream because he's got a cough or a cold, but that does not make her cruel. She's looking at the long-term benefits of that, refraining from that ice cream.
Right. So you just spoke about acceptance and faith. Now, while I'm asking the question that how, like, accepting things in our life and having faith today in our busy lives, some people or most of us don't even have time to think and ponder. Be it others' actions or even our own actions. So, how to really, integrate spirituality, a higher state of living in our busy lives? How can a beginner really, kind of take the first step?
The first step that everyone needs to do is to make time for spirituality. The problem is we are so distracted and we allow ourselves to be distracted. We get tempted by so many things that are coming at us. So if we don't set boundaries and if I don't make time for my spirituality and my introspection, then the world will just encroach on me. And my guru says, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. And so to make time for spirituality.
Now, I want to hear this again. If you don't take.
If you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything.
Wow, this is just so beautiful.
Yes, this is a quote by Swami Tejumayananda, who was Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda's foremost. He is Gurudev's foremost disciple, and he is the spiritual head of the Chinmay mission. So he's my living guru at this time, but Gurudev is living in my heart all the time. Yes, so we need to make time for our spiritual pursuits. And the best time, first thing in the morning before doing anything else, and last thing at night. If I can at least give that 2 bookends to my day and I start them right, then my day will go good.
My next question, how to start it right?
When we wake up in the morning, like I'll give you an example of what I do and that
please.
what I have written in my book as well. You wake up early. You have to wake up early. Early meaning before 6.
Why does it really matter so much? I mean, I see everyone talking about it. The power of waking up at 4 a.m. and 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Why does it really matter so much?
Try it one day and see. So if you, it is just how the energy of the day is. If you wake up at that time, say even if it's just to use the washroom, you will find there is a peace and a quiet that is unmatched when as the day goes on. But if you sit, if you're able to get up, take a shower if you can. If you can't, well, but this is what I do. I get up, I take a shower, and I get ready as though I was ready to get going somewhere.
Sure.
But this is my appointment with myself, with my God, with my guru. So I make it a priority, because if I don't do that, the world will encroach on me. My everyday life will come into. So I have to make time. Ideally, we should make time throughout the day, but if you cannot, then at least start with the morning. And even if you don't know what to do, just pick up a book on spirituality, an inspirational book. You could pick up the Bhagavad Gita, anything that uplifts your mind, that affirms your identity aside from your everyday personality identity, that gives you some knowledge, some inspiration of who you really are and what you're here to do. So read, reflect on it. This is the important thing. We have to reflect on what we read, because many times, we get so many inspiring messages on our phones, through friends. We look at it and says, wow, that's good. But then, it flies away.
Thanks to social media, we are so much used to kind of scrolling things and kind of, just pushing it away. Let go of reflecting. Even we are losing the habit of reading things completely.
So this is actually a huge problem, because it's reducing our attention span, and we're allowing it because it's so tempting. So we have, it's not about managing anything else. It's not about time management. It's about self-management. And if I don't do that for myself, then I'm the only one who will live the life that I don't want.
The biggest life project has to be us.
Yes, because there is a higher purpose to life. You know, we look around and we see people who are suffering, who have passed, and then you wonder, they accomplished so much, they had so many possessions, still skills and family members, they left everything behind. What did they take?
Manisha, since you mentioned the word purpose, I have had a huge debate with one of my friends based on this thing, having life's purpose. While I have always kind of believed that we should be having some goal or purpose in life. I mean, at least something to look forward to. Another contrasting thought comes ki I just take 3 months at a time and I'm just good at it. Why to plan life when life is really not planned for you? You don't know even if you're going to live next 6 months down the line. So why to plan so much? So what do you have to say on this?
No, we all have the freedom to live the way we want. If that's working for you, that's fine. If it's not working for you and you say, no, I'm not happy doing this, then you are ready to embark on a spiritual path.
So it is not really necessary to have a purpose in life, is it?
You can see, you have a purpose in life, I have a purpose in life, everyone has a purpose in life. But the purpose of human life is one, and that is realizing who we really are. The real I. Not this personality I, but the real I. That is our collective only purpose in life. So we have two identities. We have this apparent identity, which has, got a name, a form, a certain look and personal characteristics. But aside from this outer personality, we have a true essence that is distant, that is separate from this outer garb. This is a garb. And this is what will disappear when the body dies. The whole personality is gone. That's what I was asking. Where did he go, my father? Because I saw the body, but it was so ugly and I couldn't relate to it. I knew that was not him. I kept asking, where did he go? Like the real he, where did he go? Because the body was just a shell. So we have this apparent identity, which changes, which grows, which modifies, thinking. Every day, if you look at your life today, how your body looks today, it was different from what you looked like last year, 2 years, 3 years ago. So body's changing, your emotions are changing, your thoughts are changing. All that is associated with your apparent personality. The real I is the self, or we would say in India, the Atman. Our purpose is to use this life in this human form to realize that we are not this human personality, that we are that great inner essence that is spirit. That's why we are said to be spiritual beings, because even though we say we are human beings, that's the human personality aspect that dies.
Manisha, one question here. How does the human personality part of us really help and work with the Atman? And how does the Atman really guide the human personality throughout our lifetime?
Good question. So our Atman, or our higher self, our spiritual self, the divine within, God within, talks to us through the voice of our conscience. It's a small voice, and it's a very loving, kind voice that will never encroach on your freedom, because the biggest blessing of a human life, is to have the freedom to choose. So earlier you said, you can take your life in 3-month chunks and live it the way you want. If it works for you, keep doing it. That's up to you. But when you've had enough of it, then you yourself will want to know more. So this inner conscience, the inner voice, can be heard in stillness. If I don't give myself some time for stillness, I will not grow. There will be no self-awareness. So there was a young boy this was a story that was told by Swami Chinmayananda, that his guru was Swami Tapovan Maharaj. He used to live in most of his time in the hills and in the mountains of the Himalayan areas. And there were, villagers used to come. So there's a little boy who he knew. The father used to bring the boy for blessings. And the boy grew up and he went to college in the city. And then he got into bad company. He started getting bad habits. His grades were getting bad. And the father and the mother were very concerned. So when he came back for a vacation, they asked him, please, let's go and visit, Swami Maharaj. And he said, why? He's going to make me do something that you don't want, that I don't want to do. I know what you're going to make me go there for. But somehow they convinced him. And because he had met the Swami from a young age, he agreed. And he was surprised when Swami Tapovan Maharaj met him. He says, hello, how are you doing? And he was talking to him as though he was a pal, a buddy. And he became relaxed and he enjoyed his time. And just as he was about to leave, Swamiji asked him, he said, will you do one thing for me? He said, oh boy, here it comes.
Yeah.
And he said,
Here's the deal.
Here it comes. He says, just do one thing. So what do you want me to do? He says, you're here only for 2 weeks more with your parents. For my sake, just wake up early, 5 o'clock or 4 something, whatever. I don't remember what time he was told, but he was told to wake up before the sun
dawn,
rose.
yeah,
in dawn. So let's say he woke up at 5 o'clock. It was still dark, right? So anyway, because he knew he loved the Swami, he had had a connection. Out of respect, he said, okay. And it's only for 2 weeks, and that's it, right? I don't have to do anything. He said, what do you want me to do when I wake up? He said, wake up and walk to that park that's near your house, sit on a bench for 20 minutes, and then walk back again. And go to sleep. Bas, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. He said, that's it? I don't have to do anything else? No, just wake up and go. So he sets his alarm. He wakes up at 5 o'clock. And it's a 20-minute walk, so he walks in the dark. He sits at a bench, he finds, and he looks around. Okay, 20 minutes are up. He walks back, goes back into bed. He does that for 2 or 3 days. Then after a while, he gets used to the place. When he gets there, he sits on the bench. He starts to notice, wow, the birds are just, beginning their chirps. The sky is looking different. There's the crack of dawn happening almost. There's a very peaceful atmosphere at that time when nobody else is around. So this boy just was starting to enjoy the space. And he 20 minutes are up, he goes back. So he does this for about a few days, and then he realizes that he's beginning to look forward to it. It's hard to get up. But he goes, okay, he follows. 2 weeks, it's okay, manageable. So he goes there now as he sits. Now that he's noticed the birds, the trees, the flowers, the sky, everything, what is there to do? Naturally, his thoughts go to his own life. That's natural. We always think about our own life. So his thoughts go to his own life. And he starts thinking about it. He says, wow, this is such a beautiful place that I grew up. And I was such a different boy. Now I've gone to the city and I've gotten into bad company. I'm doing the wrong things. I'm letting my grades slide. I'm disappointing my parents. All this self-awareness came in solitude.
Stillness.
Stillness. When we ourselves come to know our own shortcomings and faults, I can tell you, if I'm your parent and I'll tell you, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this right, you do this, you'll just, sorry, let me be. But when you yourself come to realize your own mistakes and shortcomings, the first thing you want to do is change. It's a natural thing because your conscience is speaking to you at that time. You're in alignment with that message. And so when you wake up early and you spend time in stillness, actually, even if you don't read, like I mentioned earlier, even if you don't read, just sit and observe your thoughts. Or even if you don't want to observe your thoughts, just sit and do nothing. no agenda, no book, nothing. Then see how and what comes up in your mind. Your own day's activities, your motives, what you said to others, how you behaved will come back to you. And in that stillness, you will become very aware of how you are living your life. You yourself will start to make changes because you are aware.
Manisha, one question here. While we are in stillness and we are observing things, we are observing our own actions and things which we can really improve. Now, in the ongoing stillness, also thoughts can come like, oh, this person is doing wrong to me. I am being wronged. Maybe, there are things of mine which are not in my own control. Others are ruling it. And, I'm being wronged by someone else. So, how do you deal with that? Because is it like you just cut people away, or is it like you just accept it like it's your karma and bear it? What do you do in such situations? Because it's hard to forgive and move on.
See, usually these kinds of thoughts that I am being wronged, this person is causing my suffering, I'm having a hard time, I go into victim mode. And these thoughts actually come during the day. They don't necessarily come in stillness. In stillness, you may get some revelation about what you are doing to warrant that kind of behavior from someone in your life. You may get some inner revelations of yourself. You may get some higher understanding of why this is happening in my life. So the voice of your conscience, of our conscience, is always of love. It's always of peace, and it always makes you feel good.
And it shows us the way.
It shows us a way. And the way is always love and always peace. But during the daytime when our minds are busy, no, you've done me wrong. Oh, this person did that and I'm suffering because of this. We go into that.
Is this a habit which kind of becomes our subconscious mind gets trained into it?
I mean, we don't give ourselves time to ponder over things, right? So if we did, we ourselves will come to know no one needs to tell us. Those understandings will come to me myself through my own. See, the Lord or God is within us, and the Guru is within us. He's teaching us from within, and that's the voice of our conscience. So if we are allowing that time for stillness, we become aligned with the voice of our conscience. And so even though my outer situation will not change, I will handle it differently. I will have a better understanding, a better acceptance. Because when I complain and blame, I'm not accepting and I'm just putting the fault out there. But in introspection or being in stillness allows me to understand what I am doing in my life. It helps me assess my own inner motives, my inner heart, how I speak, what is my purpose, like why are these interactions happening? All those understandings will become clear to me if I give myself some time with God, the divine within me. If I don't sit still, even if, like I said, do nothing but just sit still and just allow whatever to come, then you will realize so many things to do with your own personal self will show up, how you are living your life. Transformation, inner transformation begins with self-awareness. If you're not aware, how will you grow? Nobody can make you change until you yourself agree, yes, this is what I need to do.
Manisha, beautiful. I mean, is this activity different than what we call meditation?
Yes, actually you could call it a precursor to meditation. If you are not meditating at this time, it doesn't matter. Meditation is a very high level, advanced spiritual practice. If we look at meditation from its real purpose, which is to realize the self, to go within and just practice being that self. Turn your mind's attention away and then place it on the self. And the self has no thoughts, so it's just stillness. It's so hard to do. So to sit and do nothing allows us that purging to occur, allows us the understanding to happen. And when that happens, it comes out, so the mind becomes clearer and quieter. Then you can take some slow deep breaths, you sit still, allow it to go, and you feel recharged. That's it. You don't need, to sit like a yogi and whatever. This kind of small little practice can take us very far. Inner transformation comes from stillness and from self-awareness.
In this space of life where everything is happening so fast, you just spoke about how in the mornings we can kickstart a day with the moments of stillness. While we are at it, while we are in the main time where we are amidst the chaos of life between so many people, so many energies, so many emotions of not only our own but others as well, how to really navigate through the day?
Yes, that's a very good question, and it's a challenge for all of us. See, if I spend that time in stillness, and if I just do a little prayer or something, whatever I feel like doing at that time, you don't have to do, a lot. But even if you just spend that time to be still and to connect with the divine within you, you will find naturally that there becomes an alignment with the conscience or the self or God, and a slight distance between you and the world. That comes when, because in the morning I have shifted my attention to my higher self, that little practice allows me that little more detachment from the chaos of the world. In the time when I'm undergoing all these things, when things are bombarding me, it's hard to separate. We get sucked in. But if I have done a little bit of practice at the start of the day, I have detached to that little amount, and I've aligned myself with the self, that itself will somehow give me a greater capacity to handle the chaos that's happening, or people saying things, or things happening in traffic, or whatever it might be, with a little more detachment.
What do you mean by detachment, Manisha? Because I think, it becomes a very tricky word. How to be into something in between those people and those things, render our duties for them, for that cause, and still be detached. How would you define detachment? Is it like emotionally severing all the ties, or how what does it mean?
Detachment is actually got a bad connotation. It feels like, you have to totally, as you said, cut off all your ties with the people in your life, and, be hard-hearted or whatever. No. Aloof, yeah. No. Detachment is just detaching from the false, detaching from what doesn't align with my inner peace. That's all. So you're not detaching in a way that is like, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Not in a way like that. There's no strong likes or dislikes. True detachment is you're overcoming your likes and dislikes. You just are detached. You just don't have a preference this way or the other. And the only way we can be detached, not living like yogis, but to be detached from the outcome of our actions, of our interactions. To be detached, we just need to bring the remembrance of God into our everyday life. And the principles of karma yoga teach us that. The main teaching is, do your duties. What you know is right to do, never neglect it. Do it to the best of your ability. Do it cheerfully as a gift from God for your own inner evolution. And when the results come, surrender them to God. If we do our duties thinking that, oh, why am I doing this for my parents, for example, where my other brothers and sisters have nothing to do? Or why am I in the office doing all the work, others are not doing it? If you attach to God, it becomes easy to detach from the smaller little things. So when you think about detachment, you're detaching from the little pettiness. Think of it that way. Not the high yogi detachment. That, will happen much, much later when you overcome all your likes and dislikes. That's what Vedanta teaches us, but we're not there yet. So, but it helps us detach from the drama.
Maybe perhaps because when big things matter to us, the small things just kind of get brushed away.
Exactly. So put God first. If you put your own connection with your divine self first, then if you attach the detachment, you see, the mind can only function by attaching to something. If the mind doesn't have anything higher to attach to, it will attach to everyday mundane things and people. But if I have something higher, so say for example, I'm a mother and I have a young child, for example. Now, the needs of the child, it's an innocent baby, doesn't know how to care for itself. I am responsible. So what happens is that becomes the first priority. Now, if you come and disturb my peace or to ask me to go for a movie or whatever, I'll say, no, I have a higher duty. I'm attached to a higher calling. When I attach to that higher calling and higher duty, the lower naturally falls away.
Right.
I must share a beautiful quote by Swami Tejumayananda. He says, an altar in life alters your life. So if we keep a high altar, if we keep God as our altar, even if we say, okay, I don't believe in God, don't worry. You can use your work as your altar because you're working for the benefit of others. Your duties are actually done to help you break down your selfishness and ego. And so your duties are what we need to do. So this is how you can incorporate spirituality in your life, is by ensuring that you do your duties. Because duties come to us from outside. They are God-given. If I do my duties well, without worrying about the outcome, I will naturally be detached because I've already attached to something higher. The cause that I'm working for, the work itself, the people, the organization, my family, my children, whatever, that's my higher altar. The small things will just go because I've kept something high.
Manisha, so many gems from you. You have just brought them all together in your books. Would you like to throw some light on your writings and the books and your journey into writing?
That's very kind of you to ask. So may I show the
Please.
audience the book? Here's the book that I've written. It's called Your Spiritual Journey. And it's a guide to unfolding your divine self. That's the subtitle. In this book, I have taken Vedanta as I have learned it from the teachers, and I have put it into an introduction to the spiritual path.
Beautiful.
In our shastras or our scriptures, there are so much deep, profound wisdom, but it's hard to find where, to get what. I started with this book. It started because coming from Canada, I was listening to people who were coaches and people who's identified as spiritual beings, and they said, no, we're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So essentially, we are spirit. We are spiritual beings. And everybody loves this quote. It's by a French philosopher named Pierre de Chardin. And people were quoting it left, right, and center. And it sounds so good. Yes, we're spiritual beings, It sort of, your identity changes somewhat. You feel good. But then after that, I said, now what? What does it mean? I got mad and I said, everybody's saying it, but does anyone really know the meaning? And I said, I myself want to know the meaning. And so I started researching. That's how the book started. What is soul? What is spirit? What is the spiritual journey? What is spirituality? What do I need to do to grow spiritually? All these questions. What are the things I need to do on a daily basis? What is meditation? What is karma yoga? What is bhakti yoga? The path of devotion. What is the path of knowledge? All these things I had learned from my Vedanta studies, but I wanted to organize it because that's who I am. I love to organize things and I like to make things simple for myself. So doing this research to placate my own questioning was why I wrote the book. And so the book has two parts. The first part has got fundamental spiritual concepts, and the second part is the process of unfolding, the now what part. So that's where it talks about, you know, the daily disciplines, and then the three yogas that I mentioned: karma, bhakti, jnana yoga, meditation. And then I wrap up with daily habits, taking everything from the book and putting it into kind of a daily routine. So it's a primer. You could think of it as a primer on Vedanta, because the knowledge has come from Vedanta. And I must please add one thing. This book was not written by me, just, you know, me doing my research. I took the help of Guruji, Swami Tejumayananda, and I asked for his blessings, and I asked him to please connect me with 2 or 3 acharyas, 2 or 3 swamis that were teachers of Vedanta that could help me clarify concepts, could look over chapters. So that's what I did. That was very, very comforting for me to know that I could write and I could have those facts verified. Because if I'm writing a book on Vedanta and I say my guru is Swami Chinmayananda, and then I'm writing something inaccurate, it's misleading and not the right thing to do.
Very true.
So I got the help, and actually Guruji himself has looked over the chapter on religion and spirituality, and the other swamis. We had 3 other swamis that helped to support me. I went to them, and, you know, so busy they were, but they were able to still make time. So I must say, this is true to the Vedanta tradition. In fact, Swami Bodhatmananda says that in the little review he writes, that I've stayed true to the tradition because this is how I have learned.
Wow. I guess it has just been like 45, 50, 60 minutes with you, and I feel so enlightened. I can only imagine if a person kind of reads through these books, how enlightened and blessed they are going to feel. Thank you so much, Manisha. It was so enlightening and amazing talking to you. And of course, we all know the aura, over here at this place has become so calming and so beautiful. So thank you, Manisha, for giving us your time. And you wonderful people, for more such enlightening videos, stay tuned to Midday.
The world doesn't stop, neither do we. Subscribe to Midday for news that matters.